Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So we've been wanting to get this up for days, and we're finally going to get up. It's a message that we got from Isis, the goddess Isis, who is actually a 6-density collective. And this message Cindy did in full trance, channeled, and it's a good one to share with y'all, and we are looking forward to it.
I think this one is very touching, and it says a lot about how she does listen and how she does hear us. This one felt very, 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 very good. It felt right. It just sort of made me feel like, oh wow, there is entities that do hear us, and they do care, and they do want to help and assist us using our free will, so letting us use our hearts to figure out ways to get through these times that we're in, because it's not easy when you're a star seed and you're having a difficult time and you feel separated. So I just really feel like I'm just so glad. I feel so connected, like, wow, they're really listening. This is great.
It's really it is a beautiful thing, and it's so much of an affirmation to the fact that we really can connect, and we've been disconnected on purpose, completely purposeful. And the division is one of the things that Cindy and I's greatest mission is overcoming and exposing the division, because we have been doing mantras. I've been doing mantras to Yeshua, and we'll get somebody else come through. It could be Babaji, who is thought to be an incarnation of Shiva. I've been doing mantras to Isis and get Yeshua coming through. Or the Galactic Federation can come through anytime we do a mantra to anybody, really. Why? Well, it's because these are all benevolent beings that are actually working together for the greater good. They're not working against each other, and that's just basically a mindset of the dark side that the dark side has put into humanity to make them think that, well, Yeshua must be competing against Buddha for believers. No. That is so silly. The whole mindset, they're not of that mindset. They're not ego-driven. They're driven for the greatest good, for service to others. So if there's anything in which any of them has maybe a little bit more skill or knowledge of, they'll easily, digress and let another one take over, or suggest that, another one take over. Like that might be a specialty for Yeshua, or that might be a specialty for Lakshmi, or for Ganesha, or for Dehute, Thoth. They're not like that. They are all working basically, sometimes hand in hand, other times doing their own things, but they're working for the greater good.
Really, really got to highlight working for the greater good and learn these lessons from the higher dimensions, because it is traveling down, tracing down, and to where we're at, because we are going up, and there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be times when you just feel that something isn't right, and they do want to help us understand the beautiful things about oneness. They want us to help us understand that using our heart chakra can connect us way more than we could ever imagine. So it's just a beautiful thing.
It is. It most definitely. And I've done a video previously over here, as you can see, who is the goddess Isis and what was her involvement on Earth with humans. And there's a mantra that could connect you to her. And of course, people have a fundamentalist point of view because of the religious indoctrination will be terrified of doing a mantra to Isis, who, again, names, she's known as Aset in Egyptian, or Aset, and Osiris is Osir. So, names have been changed, just like, there was not really a Jesus walking around. It was a Yeshua. So the names have been changed again, and this is a little bit of a misdirection that's been put out there by the powers that be, to do anything they can so we can't connect with them. But we will be able to connect with them easier and easier as we rise up in the density and vibration. And again, that's why you see the assault on the people of the globe right now. Everything is about lowering your consciousness, keeping your consciousness low. That is their number one primary concern, because if you could get direction, if you could have communication with beings that are above the controller's pay grade, so to speak, and get a clear view of what's going on, oh, that's going to lead to your freedom. You're going to be out of their grips. You're going to understand all the lies. And that's why they have everything going on around us right now.
And they definitely want to numb your abilities to hear and feel the lies. And they numb those abilities through keeping you in chaos, keeping you sick, eating bad food. Granted, a lot of the food that we eat, it is our choice. But it is getting more and more difficult to find the better foods that you need to be eating to help enlighten your mind and your body.
Yes, and about choice, and as we know, in many cases we are tricked into choosing one of their two ways. It's like a sales trick, where a good salesman will go and scoot you over to 3 items, maybe just 2 items, and do the which one do you prefer, just as if it's totally your decision. Just like with the political process, which do you prefer, A or B? You have a choice. You have free will. Well, I don't like either, and in fact, I don't even like the system. Well, that is not what they want happening. They don't. As long as you choose in the system, if you choose to put something in yourself, or if you choose not to put something into yourself, again, it's all about twisting reality, distorting things, getting us to give away our free will and to buy into their reality that they want us to stay in. So we have talked also in past videos to the fact that, right now, even, there is life on Venus, and perhaps more abundantly in 5th and 6th density, for instance. On Mars, there are humans and there are hybrids and reptilian beings, as well as probably others, that are working on that planet at this moment in the same manner that we are occupying these density of bodies. So there is currently life on Mars in our particular density. There might even be life on our density on Venus as well. And then we could look to the other planets, and there is a powerful council on Saturn. And there are beings living on different densities on the different planets in our solar system. But also, what we have gotten is about a third of us have lived in other star systems. So 2/3 of the people on Earth have only lived on Earth in different incarnations, as far as their human incarnations. And about 1/3 have lived lives in different star systems. Perhaps it could be those that you're very familiar with, like the Pleiades, or other areas as well. Our lineages are all mixed. They're really, when you get down to it, to find any one being of any one particular lineage, it's more of a petri dish full of different lineages. The Arcturians, very high vibrational beings. These are master geneticists as well. There are beings that come from Lyra. There was a famous war between the Lyrans and this dark Draco reptilian empire. And there's so many different beings out there, so many different planets out there, as we look at Andromedans as well. It just boggles the mind. Some beings are more towards being beings of pure light and very, very, very high density. You would only see them really in a light body. And then other beings are very, very 3D. So she's going to be talking about life on other planets. But when we're here, planets too, doesn't necessarily mean it has to be either Venus or Mars. It could be other places in other star systems as well. So the noise you'll hear in the background is the fan. So we are the AC. We had the AC going as we were out in the cave. So please do
Forgive that.
Forgive that. Yes.
We have the collective of Isis who wants to speak to you.
We're honored. Thank you, Isis.
We want to teach you how to connect to your planetary brothers and sisters. There are those of you who feel alone and lost on this planet because you have left your families to come here and volunteer. It leaves your heart empty. We've heard your cries. You're saying, I feel alone, feel like I don't belong. No one understands me. Who am I? This is very devastating to the soul to feel alone, unwanted, unloved, and not understood. We wanted to come through and teach you a technique to reconnect to your planetary family. We know if you are listening, you are open to this, you are accepting of these techniques. The most basic technique is to understand the planets that surround you. If there's a particular planet that you are attracted to, this is your home planet. It is okay to have more than one. You may have several home planets. As you are sitting in meditation, connect to this planet or these planets. Envision your family surrounding you, welcoming you home. Understand that at this time you are there. You are with them. They can see you. You can see them. For this time in meditation, you are not alone. You are reconnected. Hold this connection for as long as possible. For this is going to help heal your heart. Even though the time here on earth is short compared to one's life of a soul, at times it feels like it's an eternity being away from your family. Hold this vibration for as long as possible, as this will start to heal your heart, your soul, and you can reconnect. We really hope this helps many people on their journey here on earth. We're truly grateful for your service. Know that you are not alone. We are with you.
Thank you, Isis, Aset. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for guiding us and being with us. The dark powers that be have done their best to disconnect us from you and other benevolent beings. They try to make us think that we are talking to dark energies when it's so obvious the intent that comes through when we connect with you.
It is not possible to feel love when working with dark entities, as they have an agenda, and one will feel it. So now, whenever you are dealing with your heart chakra, you are dealing with only love and oneness. You are learning the boundless energies of being connected into oneness.
And that is a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing. Namaste.
Namaste and go home.
So I hope you guys got something out of that. And I think that was a huge statement when she said it's impossible to feel the love when the dark ones are speaking to us, and you know there's an agenda that's coming through. You could feel the agenda that's coming through. So I ask you, when you are listening to these top politicians all around the globe, do you feel the love?
Or do you feel the deceit? That's something that's very prevalent lately, is when you listen to them, they make all of these promises and they say they're going to do all of these things. When does it ever happen? When does it happen?
Exactly. Certain scriptures have been put into our minds, like Satan can come as an angel of light. Yeah, but you still feel the energy of the adversary, because Satan's the adversary. Look to the dominant institutions across this globe. What are the dominant traditions that are dominating the planet? Well, that's obviously going to be the Church of Satan. And, that's a big realization for many to come to, because you've been brought up going to the masses, going to the services. You maybe didn't question the riches of the Vatican or the wealth of certain individuals, the power and how it's used by different people in different traditions. But you could see it's not coming from a place of love. Again, if it was love, they would do as Yeshua said and give everything to the poor. And they would just serve out of the goodness of their heart with humility. But they don't. They are showing their true light. It is so obvious when you look at them and the opulence that we see. When you feel the energy coming off of Isis, now that is one of service to others. It's beautiful. And we've gotten this from other beings. You can't hide the vibrations. You can't hide the frequency. Learn to feel, learn to truly discern, not with the left brain, but with a much higher level of skill and development that comes from opening up again the chakras, having the Kundalini flow, developing the Merkaba, the light body. And with the pineal gland fully awakened, you'll see right through, completely right through all the lies and illusions. This is what all of this is about. They can't hold this anymore. It's becoming very obvious. The deceit, the lies. They just can't hide them anymore.
No, which is a really good thing. But our part, we still have to do our part, which is get in touch with our inner self, get in touch with our star families and, start to raise our level of consciousness so we can pick that out easier. I know you guys, you do so many things out of selflessness, out of pure love. And then it's so obvious. And then you look on TV and you see these politicians and you can see what they're working out of, they're working from. You can see their agenda. And just look at your heart and look at theirs. It's that easy, really.
Are they truly leading by example that comes from the goodness of their heart? It's pretty obvious, guys. So there we are. And the message about reconnecting, as so many people have said, again, about 1/3 of us are just simply here from other places. This doesn't feel like home. And I know many of you, probably most of you in this family, feel like this just doesn't feel like home. And that's because, you know, we're of, in many cases, a higher vibrational frequency. We're choosing to come down in order to lift others up. We're choosing to help the earth through this transition and all of her people and beings on it, to help lift them up into the higher frequencies where the dark system, the dark matrix, is not in control. And that is why we see everything going on, and that's why your heart perhaps longs to go home, as many people feel like, I just can't wait to go home. As the darkness gets more intense, it gets harder for us to even be around it.
Right. And this is one way to catch a breather, because sometimes you work and work and work and you just need a break. And this is one way to find that break so you can gather yourself and continue on your mission. I would say the number one thing that a lot of people talk about is they feel alone. Nobody else, thinks like them. Nobody talks like them. Nobody understands them. So this was really a beautiful way to help you reconnect so you can just kind of grab your bearings so you can move forward again.
Yeah, understand the bigger picture, and all of our relatives out there, our family members that are not even on the planet, and maybe not even in our solar system, but they are still out there, and they're still pulling for us. They're still rooting for us to get up out of the system, awaken the masses, so that we can shed this dark matrix that we have been in and under. This dark spell that has been upon the planet will be removed. So thank you guys so much for being part of this family. Thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Make sure you are subscribed with the bell clicked, and also share. Keep waking up people. That's the biggest thing. We have to get to that point where we get the majority awakened. And yes, that is a challenging situation.
Indeed.
But it will happen ultimately. Ultimately, it will happen. Hopefully sooner than later.
Right.
That's the big key. Sooner than later.
Exactly.
God bless and namaste.
Namaste.